On a quiet Sunday in one of Los Angeles' wealthiest neighborhoods, a single welfare check exposed a horror so disturbing it froze Hollywood in place. Two powerful figures were found dead inside their own home, and the suspects weren't strangers, they were their own children. What started as a family tragedy quickly unraveled into a nightmare of betrayal, privilege, and secrets hidden for decades. And by the end of this story, you'll understand why investigators say this wasn't a moment of madness. It was the result of years of pressure building in silence. To understand how this happened, we have to go back before the sirens, before the arrests, before the family turned on itself. For decades, the name Reiner meant Hollywood royalty. How did the world see them? It saw Rob Reiner, the iconic filmmaker behind classics like When Harry Met Sally and The Princess Bride. He wasn't just a director, he was a powerful political voice, a cultural force, and beside him was Michelle Reiner, the quiet powerhouse, the creative backbone of the family, and the stabilizing force that held it all together. Their public image was flawless: a loving marriage, successful children, and universal respect, in a town where respect is earned, not given. From the outside, they had everything: influence, money, legacy. But perfection is often the best disguise. So what was really going on behind closed doors? This brings us to the children, raised in the shadow of greatness. Privilege doesn't erase. Tracy Reiner, herself an actress and Hollywood royalty, was always compared to her legendary father. Every role, every choice, was measured against his legacy. And then there was Nick Reiner, the less visible son, often described as intelligent but volatile. He struggled under the same crushing expectations, but in a different way. It begs the question, what happens when love feels conditional and success feels mandatory? When you're born into a dynasty, is failure ever an option? The warning signs were there, but they were subtle, so subtle that almost no one took them seriously. There were reported conflicts over career paths, whispered disagreements about control and autonomy. Rumors of tension over inheritance started to surface, as they often do in powerful families. But what was the true dynamic? Insiders hinted at perceptions of favoritism, of resentment, left to simmer just beneath the surface. Add to that the intense pressure of Hollywood, where reputation is currency and every failure is magnified under a global spotlight. There was nothing explosive, nothing obvious, just enough tension to crack the foundation. Then came the Sunday that changed everything. It started with unanswered calls. A simple welfare check was requested, a routine procedure. But what LAPD officers found was anything but routine. They arrived at the serene Brentwood home, finding no signs of forced entry. The scene inside, however, was described as violent, personal, and targeted. This wasn't a burglary. This wasn't random. Whoever did this knew the house, and the people inside it. The illusion of the perfect family was shattered in an instant, replaced by a brutal and terrifying reality. The arrest that followed shocked Hollywood to its core. The first betrayal was revealed when Nick Reiner, the son, was taken into custody near the USC campus. The charges were first-degree murder. How did they connect him to the crime? The evidence wasn't a smoking gun, but a trail of digital breadcrumbs, online footprints, location tracking from his phone, and behavioral patterns that placed him at the center of the investigation. The headlines were devastating. A son accused of killing the people who gave him everything, but the story was far from over. Investigators quickly realized Nick likely didn't act alone. Why? There was no forced entry, suggesting the killer or killers were led inside. The timing seemed coordinated, not impulsive. And as they dug into digital evidence, they found communication patterns that pointed toward careful planning. The investigation took a dark and chilling turn as detectives began asking a terrifying question. What if someone else inside the family helped? Who else could have been involved in such an intimate and horrific crime? That's when the spotlight turned to Tracy Reiner. This was the most unthinkable suspicion. Investigators scrutinized Tracy's communications with her brother. Nick, they found cryptic messages, conversations that seemed innocent on the surface, but held a darker meaning in hindsight. Her behavior, both before and after the murders were discovered, came under intense review. Suddenly, she went from a grieving family member to a person of interest. How do you even process the idea that the daughter, the one seen as loyal and successful, may not have been innocent? So what was the motive? Why would children from one of Hollywood's most beloved families commit such an act? Investigators believed this wasn't an impulsive crime. They pointed to several possible motives: long-standing financial disputes, a desperate grab for control, or deep-seated resentment that had festered for years. Forensic findings supported the theory of a planned, coordinated act, not a spontaneous one. Experts in psychology suggested a shared resentment, a toxic bond between siblings who felt trapped by their family's legacy. As one analyst grimly noted, resentment doesn't scream, it waits. As the case unfolded, Hollywood reacted in real time, watching a dynasty collapse before their eyes. The media frenzy was relentless. Celebrity friends and colleagues expressed shock and disbelief. Film projects were delayed, and the Reiner name, once a symbol of creative genius, was now associated with an unspeakable tragedy. Hollywood sells fantasy. This was reality, and it terrified them because it proved that no amount of money or fame could protect a family from imploding. The courtroom drama that followed was a clash of two worlds: the cold, hard facts of the law versus the raw, emotional grief of a fractured family. Prosecutors argued that this was a collaborative effort, a plan executed by both siblings. The defense countered, claiming the evidence against Tracy was purely circumstantial, a narrative woven from suspicion, not proof. Through it all, the world was left with so many unanswered questions. And even now, not every secret has been exposed. The Reiner tragedy isn't just about murder. It's about pressure, expectation, and what happens when silence lasts too long. It's a dark reminder that even in the most privileged of families, hidden tensions can lead to an unimaginable breaking point. So I have to ask, do you think this was planned, or was it inevitable? And can privilege ever truly protect anyone from family collapse? Let me know your thoughts below. Thanks for watching.